I invited Riff Johnson to join us for a podcast this morning because there's a influencer event that's happening the 26th of this month, which is next week.
Next week.
What day of the week is that?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday,
It's
so
right in
Wednesday
the
of
middle.
next week. I have ad blocker on this thing.
I do too. Always.
Always
There's so much
ad
going on.
blocker. So Riff is. So let's talk about the event. All
Yeah.
right. So
One quick selfie and I'm with you.
alrighty. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. He knows exactly what to do.
I'm gonna tag you in this just because, you know.
He that's why I invited him. He is a wicked influencer. Wicked, right? I have
Wicked.
to say that. Wicked
From Maine.
influencer for especially when it comes to musicians, and you're constantly in my feed.
That's what Rich was saying. He goes, "Man, I hate your birthday because I did one thing and now I have 40 million." What do you call them? Notifications.
And it's not just that. It's just that you're always posting.
Yep.
So the reason why I really love this event is that people can come in. It's free to the public, by the way. You get to come in. You get to see Selfie Space, interact with the sets and backgrounds free for that event.
Yep.
What's going to happen here is we're going to turn this podcast studio into a karaoke room.
Sure.
And people can sing. But we're also going to have the selfie museum for you to explore and take pictures in. But also, the big thing that I'm part of also is to photograph people in the pro studio room.
Yep.
And they can have a quick headshot with me. I was fine until I sat down. Do you want a drink? I'm going to get a drink.
You got. How hard are we going this morning? Water.
Yes.
Perfect. How hard are we going? Just kidding, folks. We always do water. All right. Look at this. Sponsored by Poland Spring. Thank you so much.
Got ourselves some Poland Springs water here. Because we're a bunch of Mainas.
Yeah.
Maine.
I heard once that Mariah Carey said she would only bathe in Poland Spring water. They'd have to run her a bath with Poland Spring. I don't know if that's true. That'd be a great Poland Spring ad. I'm gonna push it right there. We'll tag
There
it.
you go. Yeah. Poland Springs,
It's delicious.
the drink of Maine.
Totally.
Mainas.
Yep.
So the event. What do you think people should get from the event? Anyways, what could they expect from you, the presenter? So Riff is going to be a presenter. He's going to be performing live, right?
That's correct. I was just gonna bring it up just in case we saw some messages. That way we
Great. Please
we
do.
can interact. We can interact with you folks. Sorry.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be rude. Get over there.
Are you just saying it comes naturally?
It does.
Okay.
Oh, why doesn't it? It doesn't let me do anything.
Is it frozen?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
We're good. So anyway, I'm here. If nobody's really familiar with me, I'm Riff Johnson. That's my totally made up name. I'm really Jared Sullivan, but we keep that part quiet. I've been a professional musician for about 12 years. So that means really doing only music as my career, as my income. So it was a lot of learning. I've had over a decade experience just being out there in the world and just thrown into it. You get better at negotiating when you're broke. for real. Just kind of went at it. Literally the last time I had a secular job, I had lost my job. It was just about Christmas time, 2009. And I was just like, what am I going to do next? I don't know. Let's try this music thing. I'd already been playing in bands and just started playing solo. So since about 2010. And now 12 years later, I'm here with Soubanh in the studio, and I'll be leaving Maine again in January. So I left last August and went all around the country, from Maine to Nashville to Florida to across Louisiana to Texas to Arizona to Vegas to California to Seattle, back to Nashville, and back here.
There's so much that I can ask you.
There is.
There's so much, and I'm trying to keep this on topic.
Yeah.
I'm known to get squirrely.
We can do that.
I'm a very squirrely guy because so much goes on in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and my wife's like, "Are you exhausted to be in that head at the end of the day?"
For real.
I'm here like, "Yes, it is." She's like, "Because when you come home, I can't keep up with you,"
Yeah.
and it's true. I get exhausted at the end of the day just from my own brain and things that go on. But anyways, I wanted to talk about, first of all, when I ask, so you were in a band before?
I've been in a few, yes.
Few bands.
Yep.
So what did you do? What did you do in these bands?
I was a guitar player at first. So I started out. I was married, married young, not really happily married for a little while. I was only married about 5.5 years, but into the marriage, I really wanted to join a band. I've been playing guitar since I was about 16, self-taught. And I just always I worked at a factory. I was soldering electronic components and whatever. It was a job. I had told my wife at the time. Someone brought in an ad to work and said, "There's an ad for a band locally that's looking for a guitarist. You should maybe do it." And I was like, "You know what? I would love to do that. Go play some bars, make a little money on the weekends, and just use my hobby, to make a little money as." So, I was met with not a happy situation there. And it just came down to, you know what, I want to check this out. I'm going to pursue it and see what happens. So I went and tried out for the band. I got the job. I was in a band that never left the practice room for over a year. So we never even played a show.
Oh, no.
And I soon got out of that band and got into another band, and we were playing in less than a month. So I had to learn like 40 songs,
Awesome.
just playing guitar, and maybe some backup vocals. And then not long after that, I ended up getting divorced and started pursuing this more full-time. Let's see. I did get a job after I got divorced. So I had a job for a couple more years. So it ended up being that I played in a few bands. I played in Downfall, which is really kind of popular in the Bangor area, a heavy rock band. I played in Four No More, which was my 3-piece cover band. That was actually a lot of fun. And I played in Sound and Vice, which was my solo band. Not my solo band, my original rock band with a bunch of guys from the Bangor area. And we had a really great experience with that. We did some recording and we did a lot of shows. And from there, and I was at a point where I just didn't have money. And it was kind of sad. I had to kind of get done doing that, and I started just concentrating on solo shows, doing that. And so that's what I've been doing now for, a little over a decade, just solo. Just solo, maybe a little less than a decade. But anyway, so that's led me to, from there to going down the East Coast once to do a bunch of shows, trying to book things and then come back.
So what convinced you to go do along the East Coast there?
Just to get out of Maine.
Okay.
Just get a little different
I understand.
atmosphere and just travel, because I never really traveled anywhere much in my childhood.
Yeah,
Never went to Disney.
I
What a
understand.
kid.
I still haven't done that.
Oh, I have now.
But yeah, I get the travel itch, and I didn't travel much as a kid. I mean, we traveled New England, but that was New England. But that was great. So, out of the bands that you were with, what was probably your favorite experience?
I mean, the original project was probably my favorite, just because
Yeah.
of writing music and singing our own songs and that stuff.
Yeah.
We played some pretty big shows. But that was probably my favorite. We probably the most profitable one was the 3-piece band, because you have less people, so you can pay.
So
three.
I want to say something about Riff. You are a good songwriter.
Thank you.
Number one, the song that I help produce a music video for, I fell in love with the song before I recorded with you guys, of course.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, Riff, we need to do something about this song, because I'm itching to shoot a music video for this song.
Right.
Just because of the duet and some, it's just the way it was.
Yeah. And that was the acoustic version.
And I like the acoustic version, but then you showed me this like kind of rock out electric electric guitar version, and I'm like, man, I don't know about this, because I was so in love with the acoustic version, and then I began to love the electronic guitar version more. Yeah, but it took me a while, because before I shoot a music video, I listen to it like to heck at least 40, 50 times before I shoot. And then I listen to it 40 or 50 times after I shoot, because I'm editing. But I just want to say that your music writing skills are amazing,
Thank you.
in my opinion. And to come up with originals locally here, I think that's a rare thing. I don't think it happens too much in this area that I've heard of. I don't know if because you've been in it more than I have.
Yeah, there certainly is. Pushing it's another thing. It's a lot of effort. It's funny that song, "All We Need to Know," which I did a duet with Sierra Carey, and her boyfriend Jared Smith actually recorded it in his studio. And it's funny. I could always tell in my mind that once you put that to a visual, it would be really good. And you did that. You did awesome. You did a great job. You just did fantastic.
A lot of people don't know this, but my gimbal was broken.
Yeah, and you're just walking. That was amazing.
The gimbal was broken in the music video. The camera was too heavy for the gimbal. That's what it was.
Okay.
And it just kept on
Yeah.
gyrating.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad at all.
To correct it. But anyways, we worked through it, and it came. I thought it came out good. But yeah, I just wanted to say that pushing part, right, of the song. Once you've written it, to get it out there in the public, you are a master, in my opinion. You seem to more than anybody else locally, at least. You've done your research, your homework on how to get the word out. How do you do that?
There's a lot to it. I probably am someone that does that more than most people. And we're always learning. It's a learning curve. Getting people, it can be so frustrating because just because you we can make that music video and then we're going to put it to YouTube and then all the people are going to see it. It doesn't work that way. I have a much more active Facebook crowd, my Facebook fan group, my page, and feeding it that way gets me a lot more traction. Because I mean, even the YouTube video might only have a couple hundred views or something on YouTube, but I don't only have a couple hundred subscribers. So that's a harder platform to push. But when I find I also uploaded it to Facebook, and that got a lot more plays. But there's a lot of ways to do it. You can put money behind stuff. You can do a Facebook ad, an Instagram ad, and target people specifically. There's a lot to learn, and it's hard because there's so many companies that might bombard you with, well, learn this here, learn this here. You can YouTube a lot of stuff. If you can just YouTube, what should I do to push my song out there or my music out there?
And you'll find a ton of hits.
Yeah, you'll just find a lot of things. But yeah, it's hard to it's hard to know. I just say learn from everybody, and try it out.
But it takes time though, because you had to weed through the crappy video versus the video that actually made sense that took you places, right?
Yep.
But
it's true.
So with him being there at Influencer Night, you guys can do a little Q&A and ask him these questions. How did he weed through this kind of like overflowing information that's on the internet to get your music where you need it to be? I know I'm that way with my photography. When I started photography, there wasn't any YouTube, and I had to learn. And when YouTube finally came out, I was binging on all these videos, but they weren't all good. They were better in the beginning than they are now, because now it's all cluttered with all sorts of sales video.
Sure.
They're selling, they're pitching something.
Yep.
They're either pitching a workshop or a product, service, all the time. And so it's kind of weeding through that. By the way, I also run workshops, so I teach people how to get better in their photography. But by having you here on the 26th, Wednesday, 6 o'clock, people can ask you questions like this and get some clear answers. And of course, I'm just me, and I'm not in the music industry. For those that are attending, will probably have some interest in music or start a career in music and have voices that should be heard. Yeah. And I would love to have you show them how to get heard, because you're good at what you do.
Yeah, and it's not like I have millions of hits yet. That's the goal. But yeah, there's certainly like there's certain books that I follow, different people that I follow online, and pretty much it's like the basic concept of if you see somebody that has something you want, go find out how they did it.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's a simple.
It does sound simple, doesn't it?
It's a simple idea, but
it's hard to execute.
Sometimes it's hard to execute, and it's hard
Got
to
it.
motivate yourself. Especially when I'm my own boss, and and now I have help. I have Paige, who's in Canada currently, and she'll be back here to the States next month.
So who's Paige and what does she do for you?
Paige is my manager right now. So she's managing what I do. She's booking shows currently.
Nice.
We've already started January through March, going across the country. So we've got some like Boston, Connecticut, New York, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. There's already some booked, which is great.
So so when you book all these like different locations, how do you connect with people that are not from your hometown? I mean, how's that work for you?
It's funny. That's another thing that we've learned, easier ways to do it. But at first, it was just a Google search, just music venues in Birmingham, Alabama, something like that. Google, and then like write down all the ones. It's an arduous task, and then Paige would literally call each one, call them up. Hi, who's in charge of music?
Wow.
Hi, who's in charge of music?
Wow.
And then it's a matter of getting maybe their phone number or an email, and then finally contacting them, only to find out they're already booked or whatever. But we have a lot of warm places now. She takes incredible spreadsheets. Like we share Google Docs, and that's how we communicate.
Okay.
So she's got a spreadsheet. It's like color coded. It's unreal. So she's got like, red for this place won't work out. Green for we booked a gig, and different colors for, like there might. I remember specifically in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, there was a handful of them that were just like, oh, he sounds great, but we're already booked. But next time you come through, let us know. So there's a lot of those.
So
and she kept record.
You keep record and keep notes of those locations that you got to touch base again.
Yeah.
Before that season or time period.
So make sure you give them more ample. Like a lot of them require 3 months. Some places book a year in advance. So. But yeah, getting that. But there are actually easier ways we found, which I'll bring up in the show. Got to come to the show to find that out.
Yes, exactly. We can't give everything away. No way.
But that was quite a learning curve, within the last year. But I mean, it worked. And as we go through again, we did a second tour in Florida in June, which is a terrible time to be in Florida. It's so hot, and we booked a bunch of stuff.
Hold on, I need to do a mic check real quick here.
Oh boy.
Okay, all right. Soof. I thought one of the mics were down. So
check one.
Yeah,
I can hear it. But yeah, so the second time going to Florida this past trip was so much easier. We found, I think we did like 10 shows or something like that, or 10 or 12 shows in just a couple weeks. It was fast.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just. It might have been something somewhere around 10. Just bam, 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 and then came back through, and that was pretty great. To go back to the same places we were and some new places, and just and connect. So what I'm hoping to do, the goal, I guess, is I've been playing in Maine for over a decade, and I have a lot of friends and fans in like the Bangor area and different areas. I go to Bar Harbor, wherever, Waterville, different parts of the state I can go to and have people come out. This is just trying to start this on a bigger scale. So now when we come through Florida, we have a bunch of fans that'll come out, and then we come up to Seattle. It'll be like, so start building those individual. It's a lot to keep track of. But the great thing is that the fans can follow my Riffer Addicts group, and I go live. Every time I play a show, I try to go live if I can get a good enough internet connection. So I'll just pop my phone up and go live, and people from all around the country I've been can watch most every show I play.
So the Riffer Addicts, that's on Facebook, right?
It is. It's a Facebook group.
Oh, Facebook group on so Riffer Addicts. What is that, and who's in there?
So it's a group that we made. So I decided that I have a fan page. So the way Facebook works is, Facebook is my jam because it's pretty much my demographic, my age group, whatever you want to call it. I'm not big into Instagram. I'm really not big into TikTok. I have them both, and I'm working on it, and it's there. But Facebook is really where I go, and that's where my hardcore fans are there. So you got a profile, which is just my profile that is not my fan page or my group. So there's a personal profile, which is still Riff Johnson, not my real name, because that's how most people meet me. And I have a fan page, so there's a musician page called Riff Johnson, and that one is like a like page. You got to like it and all that stuff and follow it. And that's kind of like the throwing it out there, like okay, there's this guy Riff Johnson, and you can, maybe get some fans or some people to check you out that way. But then the Riffer Addicts group, which is just a Facebook group, is for more of the hardcore fans, more of the, like, I go live more often. And I try to go in and do like maybe before it comes out kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit of the
like
the
a
info.
sneak peek behind the scenes.
So it's kind of like the more VIP. Sometimes I'm slacking at that because being busy, but I try to, it's kind of my special smaller group. And then whenever I go live once a week on my fan page. Every Monday, I try to. I didn't do it this Monday because we were watching Iron Maiden in Massachusetts. But
all good excuses, right?
yeah, I think that was a good one. And it was my birthday week, so it was a long week. So anyway,
Well, happy belated birthday,
you.
buddy.
Thank
I don't
you for
know.
that.
I don't think I've said that in Facebook. I'm gonna say it to your face instead.
That's good. Facebook. That's great. Thank you for that. 42, believe it or not.
Ooh,
Just
man,
baby face. I shaved, so
you look good for your
baby.
age, man.
You too, man. We won't bring up Soubang's age.
Oh no, you don't need to know how old I am.
It's not much.
If you
not
want to
much
know, I can tell you.
come to
you
the
know.
show.
Yes,
He
come.
might
I will
reveal it.
reveal my age at the show. How about that?
Place is gonna be packed. You won't believe it.
Or they could just go on Facebook and check out
Probably.
my profile.
Yeah, info. The about. But yeah. So that's like, it's like 3 tiers. There's a profile. It's your own profile.
Yeah.
There's a fan page, and then there's the Riffer Addicts group, and it's just a
Group,
joke,
yeah.
like the Reefer Addicts back in the 50s were potheads or whatever, and
Right.
now marijuana's like mostly legal most places. But yeah, it's a Riffer.
So they
Addicts.
get high off you.
that is the idea. It's
Woohoo! High off your music.
Yeah, it's a
There you
great
go.
addiction you can feel good about.
Yes, I like that. I really like
literally
that.
say
That should be a pitch for one
It
of your
is.
next campaigns.
Yeah,
Get high off music. Yeah.
high off Riff.
Yes, high off riff. That's awesome. So so when people come in
Yeah.
and well, I was gonna ask you another question, man. We get sidetracked, of course. That happens.
It does.
So do you ever do you do anything else besides those types of venues? Do you get hired to do other jobs, other singing jobs?
Weddings and parties and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Hired. If I do anything else, like I record with a band or do a vocal thing or something, I usually just do it for fun or songwriting. I don't.
Dude, your songwriting is like so valuable. That
Yeah.
should be like.
Well,
dude, okay. Oh, okay. This is a question.
Yeah.
That I have for you. I've been wondering about this. If you had a vocalist, awesome voice, would love to have help either composing or writing music for their voice. Would you be down to do something like that?
I mean, I teach guitar lessons, and sometimes it turns into songwriting lessons and creativity lessons.
Okay.
Creativity is a funny thing to try to teach. It is one thing that I think if you're interested in it, just start doing it and do it more and more, and you'll get better at it. And the only way to not get better at it is you stop doing it. Like we were
That's
saying
true.
earlier.
That is true. Just like any creative endeavor.
Yeah, and sometimes I can take a on a lesson that way. Depending on my schedule, sometimes I'll just get with somebody if they're interested and we're friends or whatever. But I don't really do that so much for hire because I feel like there's people that are maybe better qualified.
Yeah.
I don't know because
Yeah,
writing and then explaining writing is 2 different things. Guitar playing and teaching guitar are 2 different things. I can teach. I found that I can teach that. I don't think I'd be much of a vocal teacher because there's a lot of things about it that I took some vocal lessons and I understand it, but I don't know how well I do it. I don't think I feel really great.
Oh no, I
doing it
wasn't thinking of
professionally,
that. I'm
but
like
you're talking about
if
songwriting.
Yeah, either songwriting or like composing. Like if someone had maybe already written a song to help compose, kind of like the instruments and stuff like that
Right.
to go into it. Is that something that you have played with or? have thought about doing in the future?
We had a band we were working on years ago before Sound Advice, just before, and it was working with a lady in the area, and she would come in with songs that were literally, she'd be like, I got this song on my head, and sing the melody, and like she would have a whole song, doesn't play an instrument besides singing, and she would lay out this whole song, and so my friend Bill Reardon and I would sit down with a guitar and figure out the chords behind her songs. That was pretty incredible. And I actually learned a lot about songwriting from that. It's almost a backwards thinking, because I'm always playing music and a melody line, and then I put words to it.
Got it.
And this lady had the melody line and words and no music.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting. So I've done kind of stuff like that before, and like that one song I did with Sierra was one I wrote years ago, and I just never had a female singer to sing it. And I got another one I'm hoping she'll do. She doesn't even know it yet. I might have wrote to her for the new album. Another one I wrote years ago that I think's pretty good. But I could never sing it. It's like it's
high.
So high. It's
a little
high.
high. Yeah.
I want it to be that way, and I want it to be a female singer, just for what it is.
So, oh my goodness, I had a question.
Yeah.
Question gone. Sorry.
But yeah, I have worked with people before. As far as doing it for a job, it just, I have so much going on my own stuff that I probably wouldn't. But I could do it in a way of like doing lessons. Like,
okay,
if you knew you were gonna plan like a 30-minute or an hour session,
right,
and even online, you could bring me what you got, and we could talk about it, chat about it, and hopefully I could.
Yeah, like a critique or mentorship.
Yeah.
is kind of what I was thinking of, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's something you thought about doing?
Yeah. No. I mean, I'd be open to that,
Yeah.
but it'd be more like a weekly or whatever, bi-weekly, however you'd want to do it, or whenever you wanted to. Like, okay, just take an hour from me or whatever.
I'm just saying that I think some of your skills are like, I kind of want to showcase, basically. The skills that I see you've done. I mean, I've been in your home studio when you were at that location.
Oh yeah.
And I can kind of see how you put the songs together, and I'm like, whoa, this is really cool. This is number one out of my comfort zone. That's something I don't do a whole lot of. I might sing for fun.
Yeah,
but pretty much I sing for fun.
I got auto-tune, man. We'll make it sound like Frank Sinatra if you want.
And I did, okay, I put myself out there one year. It was like 2018. I was running Down East Fantasy Con.
Yeah.
And we had the fantasy ball. It was at the Brewer Parks and Rec. And it was close to my 20-year anniversary to my wife, so I serenaded to her. I sang Ed Sheeran's Perfect.
There you go.
Oh, is it Perfect? No. What's that?
I think you said it was.
What's that last song?
You said, the latest one.
One of the latest kind of like love song. It's a music video. He's out. He's out in the ski resort and stuff like that. He has pizza with this girl. I remember the music video. I forgot.
What is that? Is that the? That is Perfect.
Is it Perfect?
I think so.
Okay. Anyways,
Yeah,
I serenaded to her. Yeah. I botched the lyrics. But it was for my first try, just trying to sing in public to see if I can sing in public. Yeah. Just because I wanted to, number one, show her that I love her and also embarrass her in the process. She took it very well. She took it very well. And Corey Skull was there from Z107.3. She was DJing that event, and Corey's an awesome person. I've known her for a very long time. We actually we were in the same apartment building at one time. Oh yeah. So that's when I first met her. But man, singing in front of people, that's tough stuff, dude.
It is.
That is tough stuff. Yep. And then to not have your mind wander and to remember the lyrics. I didn't want to have the lyrics in front of me, right? Because I knew I couldn't sing in a way to have my emotions be involved if I was reading.
Sure.
It's hard to sing a song, like karaoke, and have your feelings with it when you're trying to follow the lyrics and the timing of the lyrics.
Exactly.
And the breathing and all that stuff, you know. But when you're breathing on your own and all that good stuff, I think the lyrics become more genuine. Yeah. Than reading it. Yeah. Sure. So at least that was my experience when I was performing for the first time in public. And it's out there on the internet. Please don't search.
You know what that means? Definitely, sir. Definitely.
So, so as an influencer coming on the 26th, what would you like out of this? What's kind of your goal for this event, anyways?
I just hope it's helpful. For one thing, I think the main focus should be getting people to see this place, because this place is amazing. It's the only thing like it in the New England area, where it's a selfie museum. There's literally like cubicles out here. Maybe you should zip through with this real quick and just kind of.
I just might do that.
Just
yeah.
give them a quick glance at. It's funny how these little spaces can look like a. I mean, it gives you the idea that they're in some room that's like it's like a giant library, or it's in a bathtub, in a pink prison, in a claw
Oh, by
machine.
the way, the pink prison, I changed that.
You did.
We now have a golden toilet.
I gotta see this. It is currently.
Yes.
Excellent.
It's a golden toilet currently.
Yeah, that might be actually. I don't know if I gave you my idea of what I want to do for the next album cover album, but it had the idea of that prison thing. So,
All right.
But anyway, and then there's just a professional like studio setup where you actually have photographers come in and rent the space. That's brilliant.
Yes. We have plans for expansion in the future at multiple locations.
Yeah.
That is coming up. We're working hard to make sure that we have proper financing to make that happen.
Yeah.
Selfie Space was created because of COVID, and I wasn't able to work as a photographer for 4 months.
Yeah.
And I needed to create a business where that was COVID friendly, and people can be in the 8x8 spaces, wear their mask in the hallways, take off their mask for photo taking and things like that. And eventually we can automate this. But anyways, I knew 25 years ago. It's a while ago.
Yeah.
25 years ago, when I was starting photography or video production, I needed to rent a space to produce photos and videos, and there wasn't any space available. The only space available was like a conference room at like One Cumberland Place or something like that. And they were going to charge me $500 for a day rental.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not even charging my clients $500.
Right.
You know, this doesn't make any sense, you know? And so since then, I've been trying to open up a studio that for creatives, whether they're vocalists, whether they're filmmakers, whether they're photographers, any form of artists or content creators nowadays.
Right.
A space to make that happen. So we have this podcast studio where podcasts can be recorded. We've actually had it rented a few times already, but we're adding it to our. So this space, this Selfie Space, is also used as a party rental space, event venues. So we've had lectures here. We've had gatherings here, reunions. And birthday parties a lot, and now we're renting out the podcast studio as a karaoke room for birthday parties as well.
Why not?
So it's been added to the packages, but
It looks great. I love it.
we're always in progress because I'm always I always come up with new ideas. When you see the space every single day, you're like, oh, I think I can change that a little bit. Yeah. But then real work gets in the way of doing some of those little things. But no, changes are coming. Yeah. We have a couple new rooms we're gonna add. We're gonna add a Western Saloon, a graffiti wall, and I've already started painting the red boxing ring that we're putting in.
That's cool.
But our cyc wall is finished, so we have a cyclorama, seamless wall, infinity wall is also known as. That's up. So,
and the infinity room. That's
and the
amazing.
infinity mirror room is probably our most popular room.
Yep.
To film in, to shoot in, it's a little hard to not have the filmmaker or photographer
show up.
So there's some techniques in making that happen. To shoot at an upward angle, or through the little
through the door
hole.
I believe you did that in my music video. Mm-hmm. That was great. You guys got to come see that anyway. That thing's it's cool.
Right. It's normally $20 a person per hour, and we're still running a special of $25 for the whole day rental.
Yeah. Wow.
It's not a rental actually. That's just general admissions. You can rent the whole museum for $100 an hour. The pro studio room is $50 an hour, and the podcast studio is $35 an hour. But
it's a big difference in $500.
Yeah, it's a big difference than 500. And people, it's very affordable, and most people will include that price for into their packages, so their clients end up paying for the space, and it's pretty reasonable. But I really appreciate you wanting to highlight Selfie Space, but I really also wanted to highlight the brilliant musician that you are, because you an influencer that you are, because I know I went to a band. I went. Where was I? No, I was covering an event at the Cross Insurance Center. Live band was playing. I don't know, like 5, 6, 7 people in the band. A pretty good sized band. So I said, "Hey, where do I find you on YouTube?"
We don't have a YouTube. I
Exactly.
bet. Yeah.
Exactly.
How to guess?
Exactly what I
Yeah.
got, and immediately I thought of you and how you're all over the place online. We can find you. We can find your music. We can find more about you. And these musicians, how do they how do they make it without getting the word out?
Well, that band is likely compiled of people that have secular jobs or a career, and that is their hobby.
Yeah.
Which is fun. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's probably a lot. I want to say smarter to have that as your your hobby. But they still have a love of music, and they want to do things and maybe make some money. But to literally just be out there on all platforms, and to be pushing things, and to be setting up shows and keeping busy that way, it's a different level of commitment or whatever.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I guess it really makes sense that you are able to make this a full-time job or full-time career. Is that you're right out there. You're working it like a job.
Yep.
You're marketing it. You're running it like a business, which is a smart way to do it, and getting the word out there and booking shows and having a manager.
Yep.
To help you out to manage all this stuff to schedule.
Yeah, that's actually, it's been incredibly helpful, and even that we're learning. I mean, literally, it went from me asking Paige after just a few months of knowing her, just saying, "Hey, do you want to help me run my fan page?" Because I've heard that before, like having one of your biggest fans help you run your fan page, or help you run your social media a little bit.
Right.
And it literally went from that to coming into a situation a bit later where I was losing the place where I was living, and there wasn't a whole lot of reason for me being in Maine anymore. And I was like, oh, Paige, what do you think about trying to be
cross-country
the
tour?
the third party that books, management that books Riff Johnson? And I'll tell you that's something that's a really smart way. When you have someone calling about you, and they can just say, "There's this great musician. He's locally from Maine or whatever. He tours in the United States." Whatever you want it to be. He's a great performer. His name's Riff Johnson, and I represent him, and we want to try to book your venue for these dates. Like, to have someone call about that, it sounds so much better than me leaving. Hey, this is Riff Johnson. Just wonder if you can maybe book me sometime, and we'll talk soon.
Or having you talk yourself up and sound like you're bragging.
Yes. Also true. Yeah. I'll let Paige brag for me. Thanks, Paige.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I know, because when I never like talking about myself as a photographer, and when I do, it sounds like I'm bragging.
Yeah.
So I so much rather have someone else talk about me.
It's tough. I mean, in a way, you should own it and be proud of what you've done and where you're at. I mean, and in some ways, it just feels like I'm starting over again. It's just funny. It is. It's kind of like, and I literally started in Newport, Maine, at a bar. I played for 2 hours for $50, and I was just like, "This is great. I've made it." but it was just but I've grown from that to literally now we're booking across the country. We're thinking about a year,
amazing.
Like a London tour and stuff. It's like,
so I'm still going to be available when you do the London tour, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
you're just
wanna let
available.
you know.
Yeah. That would be amazing. I mean, how cool would that be to just come and whatever? Can you imagine just the footage we could get all the way around, just the little things. We got to start thinking like that. Little bits of information we can put on TikTok, we can put on Instagram, or Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts, and that's what it is now. It's frustrating that it keeps changing.
It's because you're thinking of all these things that has made it possible for you to do those tours across country, and to get your name out there, to get your word out there, and to have people realize that you have a lot of people following you.
When I actually realize that again now is Sunday was my birthday, and I have no idea how many birthday wishes I got, but on my fan page, there's just hundreds of people that I didn't even know were like writing happy birthday to me, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
That is,
because it's always been people I know, which I know a lot of people, and it's wonderful, and thank you guys always for that. But to see all these people I didn't know at all, and even like, or they know specific things about what I've been doing, and they'll bring something up. I'm like, oh my gosh, people are watching me.
right? They are.
I gotta stop.
Be careful.
Jeez, I gotta stop doing the bad things.
You are a role model.
Yeah, I try to be. I hope I am.
With great power comes great responsibilities.
It's my Spider-Man lecture.
Yeah, it is. So, have you found out? Have you found that having the followers on social media has helped you book gigs?
For sure, like 1,000,000%. So what's funny is, it's kind of like, which maybe I'll explain in the thing on next Wednesday, 6 p.m. October 26th, Wednesday. We're gonna be doing a show here.
54 Wilson Street, Brewer.
Yep. You can see high tides right across the way.
Right, we're on the second floor too.
Yeah. Floor number 2, but 6, and then I'll give a spiel. And then afterwards, I don't think you didn't even mention this part yet. Well, you did mention this, that Soubang's going to make sure everybody that shows up to this thing gets a few headshots. He's going to go into the studio, go into the professional studio. So dress up, look nice, and
come prepared.
If you're a musician, if you're a realtor, if you're whatever, a professional person, you could kind of get some high school pictures, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
If you have an instrument,
Yep.
bring it with you. If you have a guitar, bring it with you.
Yep.
Have a prop, something that's personal to you. If you play drums, just bring drumsticks because I don't want the whole drum set, okay?
Yeah. If you're a realtor, bring your laptop. No, I don't know. Bring your keys.
Laptop keys.
Yeah.
Keys are good for that.
But no. So he's gonna do that. That's literally like a $200 value that Soubang's gonna give as a gift. So as long as you come out, see the place, we're gonna hang out for a bit. I'm gonna give my thing. We'll keep it not too long. We'll do question and answer. And if you've made it that long, you can take part of the wonderful gift that Soubang's gonna provide, a $200 value. And also, there's gonna be a drawing, right?
Yes, there's gonna be a drawing.
Go ahead.
Everyone that comes in will enter into drawing. If you're a musician, of course, what we're gonna do is we're gonna give away. I think the value is higher than this because my basic studio recording of a music video is $600. So this is probably closer to $2,500. I'm going to shoot a music video for you guys through Selfie Space and maybe even some outdoors. So it's you pick the song, we shoot the music video, we make sure it's going to take a day. So it's going to take my day to do that, at least 4 hours. So I'm giving that away. It's a $2,500 value. I'm going to shoot a music video for you and produce it and show you that Selfie Space could be used as a venue to shoot music videos. I know this already. Well, not just me, but music video producers out of Boston knows this already because they have been coming up here to Brewer, Maine from Boston, Massachusetts to shoot at music videos at Selfie Space.
That's awesome.
On top of that, we just recently had an R&B artist out of Bangor got a music video produced in Selfie Space from a producer in L.A.
Oh, wow.
So he came from L.A. to shoot the music video for her here. So
that's awesome.
Anyways, all these guys already know that the venue is a great spot for shooting a music video. I want to show you that, and I want to kind of like celebrate that by giving away this $2,500 value shooting a music video in our space.
Yeah, and I think, and if you're not a musician, you could just transfer that to a shoot, like a full shoot.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yep.
So yeah, so that's like if you say you've already got a song that you have written and you recorded it and you don't have a video. That's an awesome way to do that.
Awesome opportunity. I mean, most music videos usually are like a high, kind of like a full production crew. Would be about $10,000 to produce a music video.
Yeah, easily.
So I'm gonna produce this myself. I might have one other person helping out, so the value is a little less, but it's not gonna be any lesser in quality.
Right. And then of course, if you can't make that date, you still here. You can provide the service, and it might not even be $2,500. It might be whatever it ends up being.
Right. Yeah. I mean, starting in studio recording video shoot, just like something like Boyce Avenue puts together.
Yep.
You know, Boyce Avenue does a lot of their stuff.
He does a great job.
Something similar to that, $600
Yep.
in studio recording. We can do that. Make that happen for you.
Yeah, sweet. So anyway, so there's that.
Yes.
Did I get off track?
No, I don't think so. I think we're good.
I mean, it's certainly not off track. We're promoting the thing on Wednesday.
No.
You were asking me, did the fan base help? So,
Yes,
so
that's
the
right.
the fan base. So as we started, we kept learning and how to put videos out there, how to get to people in different areas, different parts of the country, how to zero in on different areas that we were going to be in. I started seeing people pop up that jumped on. And a lot of it, a big props to Joe Myers for doing
Quarantine
karaoke.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's literally how I met Paige. She met me through
That's
there.
awesome.
And that's how I met a handful of fans across the country. And as I got to thinking about it, I was like, who do I really know across the country that I could go maybe stay with some people, just to put me up for a night or whatever. And then I had friends that have lived here. And, due to Maine winters, a lot of my friends are like, I'm going to go to Clearwater Beach, Florida. I'm gonna move to Texas. So these nice places in the wintertime, and that I've actually gone and stayed with for, lengths of time, Arizona.
That's cool. That's
in
cool.
California. It's great. So what I found is some of the people that I've simply met online through my music, through either quarantine karaoke or even like Facebook ads, putting stuff out there. I've gone and actually did this first loop last year all on my own, which is nice because I'm kind of like laying down the foundation and weeding out the people. Honestly, everybody was great. I don't have a bad thing to say about anybody.
That's awesome.
That I met through the music thing that I've stayed with. And I mean, it's a bit of a risk. I'm like, hey, you don't know me, and I don't know you, not really, but I'm gonna be in your area for a couple of days, and you want to put me up, and almost every single experience has been fabulous.
That's awesome. So you mentioned quarantine karaoke, and I remember a father-daughter duo that actually quarantine karaoke was their break as well.
Yeah.
Matt and Savannah Shaw, and I think they're out of Utah, and I happen to know their cousins. They live right here in Brewer, but they're exploded. They've exploded. They're now performing in big venues.
Wow, how great!
And they're now producing originals and stuff like that. But quarantine karaoke forced them to produce more music at home, and get seen.
Yep.
And that helped really. What Joe Meyer did, I don't know if he understood how far.
Oh, probably not right off.
Yeah.
He just. We couldn't go to the bar and sing karaoke, so Joe's like, "I'll sing on Facebook." And he just put a little idea out there, and I think over the weekend there was like 30,000 plus people.
It was so quick. If you go back into my, I was one of the originals on quarantine karaoke. I was such a fan that everyone thought I produced it. I'm like, no, that's not Matt Page. That's Joe Meyer. That's Joe Meyer that did that.
Yeah.
But I was such a fan, and I was promoting the page so much, or the group so much, that everyone thought that I had created it.
Yeah.
And I was inviting all sorts of people to join. And but anyways, I think that even though it's not as popular as it was because we're no longer in quarantine,
right?
It's kind of sad that good health and the ability to see each other face to face now has made quarantine karaoke less important. But when it was, dude, it was like the only outlet that people had to get to connect with each other.
Definitely.
And he provided such a great service that I think I don't know if he understands how important that was, but I gave him a challenge coin from the city of Brewer for doing that as a city councilor, and I was wanted him. I don't think he still knows how I don't know if he does know how important that was for the community at large, not just our local community, but worldwide. People were jumping on worldwide.
Wild. Yep.
It was amazing, and he, of course, he must know because he was interviewed almost every single day by a different network or
he's
a
probably
different
like,
TV station.
Oh, I wish I never did this. No, I'm sure he done. No, he did. What a great thing.
But yeah, I mean, look what he's done for you to get exposure that way.
I think because I did it at first. I saw people jumping on there like right off the bat and going live, and I was like, I just don't like singing to my phone. And I did it a few times, and I hated it. I mean, it's not hate, but I wasn't comfortable.
It was uncomfortable.
I didn't like it. I didn't like singing to my phone.
Right.
But after a while, I kind of got forced into it because I had my car broke down. I needed to raise some money and stuff, and I literally went on there the end of the year 2020, and then I just started making it a habit, not to go on there, but to go at least on my group, on my page, but sometimes go on quarantine karaoke. But I jumped on, and I just started doing it. And as I did it, I had the video facing me, and I do. It depends what you want to do. Some people do a video from far away. I do it so you see like this much of my body and like part of my guitar.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're sitting in front of me and we're talking or I'm singing. And mine become a lot of a conversation / playing. Like my Monday night thing is like that. And I feel like once I started reading the comments as they came,
Right.
I could interact and be,
Right.
and
So that's
that
what
was
I was
cool.
going to ask that question. Is that did the comments in an interaction make it feel more real, like you're
Big time.
like you're right in front of an audience versus just talking to your phone?
Yep, it's. I don't want to say it's exactly like being at a show, but it's so much more like being at a show because then I can see people and I'll play a song. They'll put some fire emojis on there, like they like this one, hearts, and you could do.
It's almost
Tap
like
the thing
it's
on
almost like clapping, right?
It's
all
very much
those
so.
emojis are just like people like cheering and clapping.
Yep, exactly.
When you're singing a song they really like, or you're hitting a part that they really like.
And people get hung up on the number of people that are in there, but I never think about that. If it says 3 people, excuse me, I just sing the same way that I always went. And you get people that watch a replay. You can leave it there.
Watch the replay, or they come in at different times, and sometimes the way Facebook works is that you don't always pop up on their feeds.
Right.
When you're going live sometimes.
Yep. That's true. And now it's funny. I have the problem of there's people in the UK. So, they're like 6 hours ahead of us, and so they're up really early in the morning, which is late for us. Early for us. So they might be on a totally different schedule. So sometimes I would try to go on at like 7 a.m. and then those guys are having lunch.
Okay.
I haven't done that as much lately, just because 7's rough with singing. But it's great. It's cool to see. But then you'll see people though hashtag replay. I'm here for the replay.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful.
That's awesome.
But and that number's not always right. That's another tip when you're going live. Just because it says 8 people, there might be 10 or 15. It's not always the right number. Because I'll literally say 4 people, and I know there's like 10 people commenting. And I don't know. Are we all right on this thing?
So we're hitting the 1 hour mark.
Okay. Wow.
Which is basically where I wanted
Cool.
to end. So let's just do a wrap up. Sum it up. What can people expect at this event?
Okay,
And,
so Wednesday night, October 26th, 6 p.m. We're all going to meet here. So we're going to, for about an hour or so, half an hour to whatever we feel like there's people here. We're gonna run around the Selfie Space here. We can hang out. We can chat. You can go take selfies, take pictures, and take pictures with me if you want. I don't care. Take pictures with Soubanh. So you're gonna get to be able to walk the space here, check it out, and then around whenever it feels right, 6:45 or something, or we'll do a part where. And depending on how many people are here, you're gonna need more time after. If there's a lot of people, which is what we want.
Right.
Come on out.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you're walking around the Selfie Museum, I'm going to be staying in the Pro Studio room, so you can pop in at any time to get your headshot done.
Okay.
And I'll do your headshot during that time and also after your performance.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that might be the way to do it because if you might get bombarded and everyone's waiting in line.
Right, and I might find a subject that's really interesting, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to play with you a little bit more.
Yeah, but you got to stay for the show too.
Yes.
Don't just get headshot and leave.
Yeah, well, I might, you know what?
It's okay though.
I might do the more detailed headshots after the show.
There you go. I'll give you one now, and then it'll work out great. So
yeah, with your mouth open and the eyes blink. Yeah.
so we'll do that for a bit, and then I'll give my bit of a discourse. I think I'll start out with a song that an original. I'll do just a few songs probably, and talk about what I thought of, and then maybe talk a little bit about who I am, what I do, what I've done in the last 12 years. And where I'm going in the future, hopefully, and then literally just open it up for question and answer, and then hang out after.
Yeah, if I were you, I would come prepared with questions that you may have that's burning inside of you about being a musician in Maine and abroad. because he's done both, and he can answer that question, how to get the word out and all that good stuff. All those questions that you may have specifically to you. I'm not a musician, so I don't have those exact specific questions, but I am a music fan, and I do like to sing in the shower.
And I imagine we'll probably go live. We'll both go live.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, I'll go live as well.
And I'll go live in my Riffer Addicts group. So any of my friends, I'll give you guys all shout outs as you get on there, and we'll kind of maybe we'll do a thing like put a flag up for which country you're from or whatever, and see how much diversity we have.
Yeah, Hey, I have like 3 flags to show here.
Great
For me. I think I'm gonna go live just for my VIP club.
Okay.
VIP group. And not in the general fan page.
Yep.
So those of you that want to see this through me, you got to join the VIP group.
Yeah.
And we accept just about anybody. But the people that stay there, of course, are the people that we know are true fans that's going to help promote us. And also that we are more than happy to give away some good stuff for free on our club. But anyways... Riff. Anything else that you want to say?
I'm going to be here till January 3rd. Hopefully there will be a goodbye show on January 3rd. I got a bunch of shows in Maine still. I'm in Belfast tonight. I'm in Friday. I'm over in Dover Foxcroft, and Saturday I'm in Unity, Maine at the cidery, the Stone Tree Farm Cidery. I'm excited about that.
Man, I always want to be available to go to these things every time you perform, but I'm so
always
stupid busy.
Yeah.
Man. Well, one of these days I will be busier.
That's true.
But anyways, thank you, Riff, for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks for explaining to people about what this event is going to be about. Those that were questioning or interested in it, I'm not sure about it. I hope they have a more clear idea of what's going to be happening that night, and that musicians can make a living here in the state of Maine if they want to do that.
Yeah. We just have to push the heck out of it this next week. So folks are going to be bombarded, but hey, just hit the going button and just show up.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Riff. See you guys. Bye.